In light of the recent Israeli air attack on Hamas target in Doha, Qatar's capital, this video looks at Qatari Air Force and air defenses, comparing them with Israeli assets. On paper, Qatar's forces appear strong, with many cutting-edge systems. But what could Qatar do against another Israeli air attack? The most numerous Qatari fighter jet is the F-15QA, the newest F-15 in existence, an export variant of the US Air Force's EX. It uses an advanced AESA radar and even has subsystems the US version lacks, like a missile warning system, though its electronic emission management system is likely inferior. Qatar's F-15s carry AMRAAM C-6 and C-7 missiles, and Qatar procured some 1,500 JDAM bombs and 100 HARM anti-radar missiles. Qatar also operates 36 Rafales, the latest version with AESA radar, Meteor and Mecha missiles, French Hammer-guided bombs, and Scalp EG stealth cruise missiles. In addition, Qatar fields 24 Eurofighters, all with experimental AESA radars, delivered before most European operators received similar upgrades. Another 170 Meteor missiles were ordered and delivered for them. Meteors outrange any AMRAAM variant. Overall, Qatar's Air Force is very modern and well-armed. By contrast, Israel has F-35s with advanced AESA radars and stealth, but most other Israeli fighters use overall older tech than any Qatari jet. Israel's F-15I and F-16I are over 20 years old, while Baz and Barak fighters are decades older than that. They have been upgraded with Israeli systems but not radars. AMRAAM C-6 and C-7 remain the most modern missiles Israel fields. Of course, battles aren't decided by simple inventory tables, nor can we know if Qatar's future holds another Israeli incursion. The last one worked because it was so unexpected. No Air Force stays on full alert in peacetime. Details are scarce, but Israel likely used around 15 fighters, some probably stealthy F-35s, to launch about 10 standoff missiles. With ground intelligence's aid, small missiles hit precisely, minimizing collateral casualties while destroying Hamas's meeting room. Their warheads were larger than drones, but smaller than heavy missiles. A plausible attack route, repeatable if Israel strikes again, would be over Syria, then Iraq, into the Gulf, firing standoff missiles 100 or 200 miles from Qatar. Escalation remains uncertain. Some Hamas personnel escaped, and Israel had a clear message afterwards: "We will get you next time." Qatar cannot afford to retaliate against Israel. It doesn't have the political backing. Conceivably, it might try what Pakistan did to India, intercepting enemy squadrons. Any interception here would be over Saudi Arabia or, more likely, the Gulf. One idea might be to stop Israeli planes. Qatar's force is modern, but to stop an attack it would need 24/7 patrols with a dozen jets over international waters for months. Sustaining that requires 50% more aircraft than Qatar owns in total. It's not viable. Qatar also lacks AWACS planes, geographic width to protect itself with ground radars, and allies to share early warning data. Even if Qatar stumbled onto F-35s with fewer planes on patrol, direct combat would likely cause greater Qatari losses, and that's not counting the political fallout. A more realistic goal for Qatar would be tracking and shooting down Israeli missiles. The last attack was a surprise, but Qatari forces could be more alert in the future. With most of their hardware active, they could plausibly intercept a fair share, some with fighters, but mainly via their potent air defenses. Qatar has 10 or 11 Patriot SAM batteries, possibly making it world's fourth largest Patriot user. In addition, there are about 3 NASAMS 3 batteries, large ones with multiple radars, effectively providing 6 or more fire units using AMRAAM ER missiles. Qatar also fields some advanced anti-aircraft artillery, but too few to cover even Doha due to short ranges. Curiously, even THAAD ABM systems are on order, though delivery will take years. Even the best Qatari systems lack reach to threaten Israeli launch aircraft. They can only target individual Israeli missiles. It's impossible to predict interception rates, but with enough large strikes, some Israeli missiles would always get through. Air defenses also benefit from timely early warning, which Qatar may still lack. Theoretically, US influence could even obstruct Patriot use. despite Qatar's ownership. In the end, Qatar has potent and expensive systems, but lacks a wider support and intelligence network, while its adversary enjoys US backing. Some Israeli missiles could certainly be intercepted, and if Qatar is bold and lucky enough, maybe even a few Israeli jets could be downed, though that's politically unlikely. Qatar can protest, but realistically it has few options for truly stopping future attacks.